Okay, you guys, we have a lot of stupid people in the world, either because they're uneducated or they're very gullible. They follow cults, they don't want to question authority, and I'm talking specifically about the Karen Read trial. Different attorneys that I follow on YouTube have already said when they saw the evidence before going into the trial, they would have never tried the case because there is no case. In fact, the FBI has investigated all the people involved in the case, and they have already determined that Karen Read is not guilty, and they handed the reconstruction experts that the FBI hired, they handed all that evidence over to both parties to use, the prosecution or the defense. The prosecution didn't want it because both of these PhD level crash reconstruction experts that are hired by the FBI, by the Justice Department, by the National Hockey League, came out and said there was no way that Officer John O'Keefe was hit by a car. He wasn't. And looking at the car, that car didn't hit a person. There's just a lot more to the story, but the fact that the jury is hung has me wondering that, people think that there's one juror who can make up their mind, which kind of leaves us to think like maybe we should have, like profiler Pat Brown says often, we should have a professional jury, not these civilians, because a lot of civilians are stupid. They're uneducated, or they don't know how to think, they don't know how to analyze evidence. The scientific evidence shows that he was not hit by a car, but the prosecution is saying he was hit by a car and Karen did it. There was no chain of custody on the evidence. They were protecting their friend, the cop, who owns the house where the body was found, and they never investigated the house or the people. So, I'm just saying some people are really stupid. We should probably go to a professional paid jury, intelligent people, okay? Not these dimwits running around a jury of your peers. I think a jury of our peers made a lot of sense when evidence was very simple. Did this person pull the trick gun or didn't he? Who saw it? But now we have DNA evidence, we have forensic evidence. Isn't that it? I think maybe because cases are more complicated now, maybe because people are getting dumber and dumber. Maybe the people who are really smart refuse to sit on juries. They have excuses to get out of jury serving on the jury. Really, who can afford to take 2 months off work? I can't. They probably have to be retired people. Maybe they're senile too. Maybe they trust in authority, because I did too. At first, I'm like, the prosecution always brings a case that they can win. But a couple of these attorneys that have practiced for over 20 years have said they have never in their lives seen a case where the prosecution brought a case with no evidence and where the FBI was giving evidence to the defense team. They've never seen it. It's very unexpected. But then again, people always think a pastor would never be a pedophile. A pastor would never hit his wife, would he? Okay? A teacher would never molest her students, would she? A police officer would never be corrupt, would he? A president would never lie to us, would he? And maybe these people just follow some, very stupid news shows where they just fed a bunch of stuff and they don't question anything. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. But one thing I disagree with Pat Brown, and I will never watch her channel again. She and Jennifer Coffindaffer are, in my opinion, in on protecting the murderers, because they're siding with the framers, the people who did the murder and who were framing Karen Read. Jennifer Coffindaffer and Pat Brown are siding with that. They think that she hit him, even though there's no evidence. So now they're both stupid. bought and paid for, and I totally disrespect them. And I left a comment on her video, and I said I'm unsubscribing because she's part of the problem. But I do want to give her credit for saying we should have a professional jury. I think that's a good idea. I don't like stupid people. They just annoy the fuck out of me. Like, just go away. If you're stupid, I don't want to deal with you. I can see people making a mistake, but this was such a clear and cut case. Clear and cut. Clear and dry. Clear cut case. And these people cannot reach a verdict. So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I don't expect people to know calculus or physics or accounting stuff, but I think people have to be able to read and follow simple logic. And they present the trial and evidence in a way that even a high schooler can understand. So the fact that these people were confused, either they're in on the framing, which I doubt. I think that they don't understand evidence. They want to believe the cops are right. I don't know what. But again, people who think that she's guilty are going to be blocked from my channel from leaving any comments because I don't have time for bullshit. This is a straight talk channel.